Alrighty, here we go. This is Tuesday morning, we are finally getting packed up in the shelter. It's around 11 o'clock, bless our hearts. One of these days we'll get faster.
Not my fault.
No, we were both a little slow this morning. So one of the things that you find in shelters are these little guys right here. This is just a little toggle, and the idea is you hang your pack from this in the evenings, and the little bottle right there or over there or whatever keeps mice from climbing down the rope. And the idea is to keep your packs up off the ground so that the mice don't get into your pack. And that's kind of a handy little trick. So this is the little valley down here below where we were, and I think I showed you these mountains last night. And of course we've got the facilities out here out in the back. But we're about ready to head out. We're a 9-mile day today, and hopefully we'll have a wonderful day. I think the terrain is not supposed to be nearly so bad as it has been, so should be a good day today, and we're looking forward for the trip. We're almost to the top of our first climb of the day, which is Thru-hike. Gavin let me come up in front, and I've been able to kind of hike my good slow pace. Here comes Gavin up behind me. He is awesome on the uphills. He does a super duper job. I'll show you. Oh, sorry about that. Finger in the lens. Here he comes. He is awesome. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawkeye Duncan. This is the first mile today. We are at the top of Thru-hike, and this is a wow, Gavin says. We kind of worked for this one because our first mile was uphill, but until late in the day, I think this is going to be our biggest and only uphill really until we get to Jacob's Ladder a little later on. So this is definitely worth the trek up, and we made our first mile in just that half an hour, which is awesome going uphill. So I wanted to stop and show you this, and our trail is going to go back on over that way, and I think we're going to be going downhill for a while. Bald, ooh, something in the head there. Well, fiddle. I had some views just a second ago. I'll stay with it for a few minutes and see what we got. So going through the rhododendron is always a lot of fun. It's, we're going to have a lot of that from now, I guess, all the way through Tennessee, North Carolina, probably even into Virginia, I would imagine. I haven't hiked any further north than Damascus or Racing Highlands, but this is our trail so far. I'm looking for a place that I can peek out and give you a little bit of a view, maybe right up here. This is the other side of the mountain. See what we can see up there. Isn't that cool? Really nice hiking today. Here is another view of the other side of the mountain. Boy, it's kind of a good sized drop down there, but look at this range of mountains right here. Alrighty, this is where our hiking has brought us so far today. For the last little bit, we've been walking through these rhododendrons and mountain laurels. I guess these are, well, no, there's a rhododendron. Most of these are mountain laurels, but they're really close into the trail, and at my height, I have to duck in underneath sometimes, but it's been a very pleasant hike today. Oh, and now we get to go downhill some more. So, yeah, that's the trail down now. Here's straight, there's the trail. So, better hang my phone up and concentrate on not breaking my neck going down this little hill. So, kind of up here on the ridge right now. Very pretty. Walking up to, we're still coming down from Thru-hike. We've got a pretty decent downhill for a ways, but it looks like we're finally going to get off the rocks a little bit and ease our steps into some pretty nice little trail. And boy, we've got the views to our left over here. How about that? This has been a wonderful day of hiking. The weather was very sunny, as you can tell. Our temperature is probably, well, when we got up it was 32. It's probably up in the mid 40s now, maybe a little bit better. But it's very comfortable hiking along with my rain shell on. That keeps me warm from the inside. It serves as a windbreak and an insulating layer as well. So nice hiking today, great weather. Here's a switchback going the other way. And here comes Gavin down the way that I just came. Go Hawkeye. Another little peek along the trail. And we got a little bit of a view here. We've got some mountains up here behind us. I wonder very much if that's where we came from. I'll look for that in just a second. I've got an app called Peak Finder, which shows the names of all the mountains that we've got. And I do wonder kind of if that's where we've been. So give that a look here just in a minute and see what I see. And check Peak Finder. And Chihuahua Bald is the one that's right there beyond this tree right in the middle. It's right up there. So that is where we've come from. So we're coming down the hill a little ways, but it's kind of cool to be able to use that app and know what mountain we have come over and what we're getting ready to climb. Somebody had put that in one of the comments. It would be nice to know where we've come from and where we've been, so that's where we've come from. Well, I never really get tired of walking up on these moss-covered rocks, and there's sure to be a water source in here somewhere, but this is just absolutely gorgeous. We've got a couple of southbound folks coming this way as well. Let me get off the trail and make some room for them. But this is truly a gorgeous spot. It's a place where we took our lunch today. We came in from this direction up here, and we are at Locust Cove Gap. We've got a little bit of an uphill climbing up out of here, and then some ups and downs, and eventually we'll wind up at Jacob's Ladder. So pretty good day so far. We're about 3.5 miles in. I was kind of hoping we'd be closer to 4, but we'll take what we got, and we've got 5.5 miles to go. So we'll talk to you soon. Back up on the ridgeline again, and this is kind of cool. We're got these plants that are just beginning to bud out a little bit. So I guess spring is almost here, although we had below freezing temperatures last night. So I'm not sure whether the plants know what they're doing or not, but we're going to trust that God's in charge and He knows what's right for them, and they'll be just fine. So this is where we've come from. Gavin should be coming up the way here just shortly. I've been winding it out a little bit. So I'm paused up here to wait on him and to take a little video. So neat little walk here today. Nothing's too strenuous. So far so good today. And we don't have as far to go as we did.
This is Dad singing on the trail. And strutting his stuff. And singing in his thing.
He can see a town, and it's down there. I don't know what town. I guess I could get out a map, but probably not going to, because we have miles to go before we sleep. Robert Frost was one of my favorite poets, but the whole miles to go thing's not so great today. We've been hauling it, and we've had probably the best day of hiking today that we have had yet. We have not exactly sure what we're on top of right now. I think it's just a high spot on the ridge. But man, it is absolutely beautiful. It's not quite a bald, but there'd be a good place to camp up here except for the wind whipping through. But we're getting ready to start downhill, and won't be long before we get to Jacob's Ladder, which I've heard is a heck of a climb. So be interested to see what that's all about. Continuing on down the trail, and nice little place to stop and have a view. We're continuing down, but that's all right. We'll eventually get to Jacob's Ladder, and I hear that's going to be a challenge. I think this is the little town area that Gavin spoke of earlier. We're getting kind of a little closer to it, and looks like we're going to kind of wrap around this little corner right here and continue going down into that valley. So we'll see how things go today. We've got stairs coming up, so we'll get the trekking poles out and do the best job we can. Another rock garden. This is, we came from way up there, and now we've switched back and we're coming across down here and working our way downhill. And I think that Jacob's Ladder is going to meet us at some point in the not too distant future when we start going back uphill again. But this is absolutely a gorgeous stretch of trail. We've had such a good day of hiking today. My knees bother me a little bit on these downhills, but I'm not going to complain because it's been a lot of fun. It's just like a little sidewalk right here over the rocks. You can see where the moss has worn off, and we're just kind of popping right along here. Just carefully, of course, trying not to slip, not to take a bad step. There we go. So I wanted to show you this because I think this is one of the neatest parts. All these crevices and cracks and things like that, and the moss that's covering all these rocks. It's really, really cool. So we'll walk on through here, trying to be very careful to not break anything. And it looks like we're going to make it. We'll see. A couple more rocks to go, and then we're back on soft ground again. But sometimes this is the way of the trail, and I think it's really pretty.
This is Dad dancing again. Chewing on it.
Arrived at Thru-hike Gap, and I think this might be the end of our downhill for the day. I think we've got a pretty good climb coming up for us. I understand there's some hand over hand stuff, so that should make an interesting end to the day. Haven't checked our mileage yet, but I think we're just about to Jacob's Ladder. So we've been hearing that from Santa. We heard about that from Santa from Atlanta early on in our hike, and I think we have finally arrived at it. So according to him, it's time to tuck the trekking poles back in behind the pack and head up the hills. So we're going to take a real quick water break and get a bite to eat, and then we're going to attack this last little bit of the day. Since the Stokoa bald, we climbed up a little ways, and we've just been kind of meandering through the woods here. This is really a nice little stroll right here, headed into I think a really big climb. But this has just been a real pleasant rolling walk up along the ridge lines. We came from there. There's Gavin coming across. But just a really pretty walk through the forest today, in this last little bit before our big climb. I sure hope that's not it up there. That looks imposing, but we'll see when we get there. We'll go around the corner here and show you a little bit more of what we're dealing with. So we're just kind of rolling up and down, meandering. It's a really, really pretty trip. Oh, looks like we're going to go up and around that one. That's all right. A little up is good for the knees. I'm really out of breath. I hope to goodness that this climb that we've been on, there's Gavin. I hope this is Jacob's Ladder. And boy, it is kicking us. That's where we're headed. That mountain that we saw back there a while ago that I said, I hope that's not the one we're going up. Yeah, it is. But I think we're about to get there. So we'll plow on and see what happens. Take a minute and show you this view. This is we're on the top or near the top of the toughest climb that we've had. Holy cow. I'm not sure this was necessary, but that's the camera vertical or plumb to the ground. And we came from like way, way down there. Oh wow, we worked for this one. I hope there's a view at the top. I'm gonna be really disappointed if there's not a view at the top. But at least it makes us feel like we've accomplished something today. So I'm gonna ring off here and get the rest of the way up to the top and see what's up there. Come in one more time today while we're on the trail. We're nearly done. And I think I can proudly say this is maybe the top of the last climb that we have today. We've got less than half a mile down to the shelter. Sure hope there's room. I'm not sure I've got the energy after that climb to put up a tent. But if we have to do that, we have to do that. It's not a big deal. I'll probably do it anyway, to be honest, because it's supposed to get ridiculously cold tonight, maybe down in the low 20s. So if I get snuggled up in my tent, that'll be a little bit warmer maybe than sleeping in the shelter, unless there's people sleeping on top of me. So I'll hang around here for just a minute and let Gavin catch up to me, and then we're going to make the final push down into the shelter. We'll try to catch some video of that when we get there. That is the site we have been waiting on all day long today. 9.1 miles plus 0.1 off the trail to the shelter. So a total of 9.2. And we are arrived at our shelter. Gavin's calling me to wait up on him. Here he comes. I think he's just wanting to show off my dancing videos from earlier. Bless his heart. So we're going to go in. It doesn't look terribly crowded. I'm kind of surprised. Thought a lot of the folks that passed us today were going to be headed here, but I don't see a whole lot of folks. There's Travis's tent. He's been here for a while. But they got us a fire going, and it's going to be a great night. I can tell already. And we don't have a very big day tomorrow. 6 miles tomorrow, unless we modify that to get just a little bit closer to the Fontana Hilton the day following. So we'll see what happens. But we are happy to be here. We have arrived, and it is awesome. Alrighty, we are at the shelter tonight. We have a nice fire coming along. We're making supper. Hawkeye is chilling by the fire, even though he didn't build it. Hopefully he picked up some of the wood for it. Nope, he needs to. But over here's our supper, kind of steeping and chilling a little bit, and we're gonna have a good night. I'm not even sure which shelter this is, but it's a nice one. There's my tent way, there it is down there. And there's a switchback to get to my tent. It's kind of the nice end of the day there, that you have to have such a steep climb to get down into the tents. But Travis is up here, whoops, somewhere behind the, oh, here he comes. No, that's not him. There he is. There's Travis's tent. But yeah, this is, Gav's inside, I'm downstairs in the tent. So another great day. 9.1 today, one of our best days. Our sunset for tonight is pretty daggum awesome. We're all just kind of hanging around the shelter, and it's looking pretty nice.